Okay, today we will see sequencing circuit. In this video, we will learn how to make a sequencing circuit. Okay, so sequencing circuit required sequence wall. This is sequence wall number 1 and this is sequence wall number 2. And it requires 4x2 or 4x3 direction control wall and 2T. We require 2T. Then we can make a sequence circuit. What do you mean by sequence? In sequence, suppose, see, this cylinder will forward first. After that, when this will go in full extension, after this will extend. Okay? Then this will retract and this will retract. So they follow sequence. Okay? You can say if C1, this is cylinder 1, C1 plus means it is going in forward direction, C2 plus means C2, cylinder 2 is going in forward direction, C1 minus, C1 is going in retraction, C1, C2 minus. So C2 will go in retraction. This way you can denote, this is the symbol to denote the sequence. Okay, the sequence. So we will learn what is the construction of sequence. Okay, so now we will learn how to make the connection. So the supply is coming from the pump. We have connected pressure relief valve to maintain the system pressure. After that, we have connected this pressure port to the P port of direction control valve, and from the P port we have used T. So P port to T. See, the P port of pump, or you can say relief valve, is connected to the P port of this direction control valve. Then this is the A port. A port of direction control valve we have connected to T, and other end of the T has 3 ends, 1, 2, 3. So here we have connected the cap end of cylinder 1. So other end of that T we have connected to the cap end of this cylinder 1, and the next remaining end of the T we have connected to the sequence valve input, and from the output of the sequence valve we have connected to the cap end of the cylinder 2. Now, why we have connected the sequence valve here, you will have the question. Now, just we will go through that. When the pump will suck the oil or fluid at a pressure, the pressurized fluid will go to the T. Okay? At same pressure, the pressure at this end, at this end, at this end will remain same. So, the fluid from here will go directly to the C1 and it will extend. The fluid will try to go here, but the system pressure is not enough to open the sequence valve. So the fluid will follow the path which will have minimum resistance. So minimum resistance for flowing of the fluid is to this. So the fluid will go from here to here and it will extend the cylinder. After extending the cylinder, what will happen? The system will still building a pressure, and because of building pressure, there is a huge pressure over here which will open this sequence valve and the fluid will flow from this to this end. Means C1 has extended. After extension of C1, because of huge pressure built in the system, this sequence valve has opened and which will cause C2 to extend. Okay. After extending the C2, what will happen? When I change the position, when I push the button, what will happen? This position will come here. Now, same way, the pressure rise fluid we have connected to B port, to the, this is T junction, you can say T junction 2. Okay, T junction 2. The one end of the B is connected to T junction of one end, and other end of this T is connected to rod end of this cylinder 1. Okay, and the other end of this T junction is connected to rod end of the cylinder 2. Now listen how it will work. The pressurized fluid will come from P to B, then to the T junction. From the T junction it will go to the rod end first. Now also it will go here, but the system pressure is not enough to open this sequence valve, so it will not open the sequence valve. So now the rod end, the fluid will go here, and which will retract the C1, retract the cylinder 1. So the cylinder 1 will retract. After retracting, the pressure in the system will build up, which will cause open to this sequence valve, and this sequence valve then retract the cylinder 2. So this way the sequencing circuit works. You can change the position of the sequence valve. Suppose if you want to do the C1 plus, that is, first you want forward movement of the cylinder 1, then cylinder 2 you want retraction, cylinder 1 you want retraction, then cylinder 2 you want extension. So you can do by changing the position. So in the same video we will see in the how we can do in practically to operate this cylinder. So hello, today we will see the sequencing circuit. So what is sequencing circuit? If in this circuit what we have done, the first cylinder we will assume that is cylinder A, cylinder B. Cylinder A will extend first, then cylinder B will extend, then cylinder A will retract, and cylinder B will retract. So this we are going to achieve by the sequencing valve. We have used two sequencing valves. This is sequencing valve 1, sequencing valve 2. Now you just see the circuit diagram of this sequencing circuit. This is what? This is pressure relief valve. This is pressure relief valve. This is pressure relief valve. Okay? The pressure is coming to the pressure port P. This is direction control valve, 4x3 direction control valve. So this pressure port, this is system pressure. This system pressure is connected to the P port of direction control valve, and when the direction control valve, now I'll show you if this is the direction control. Now this is extended. Cylinder A has extended. Now cylinder B has extended. Now during this flow, what is happening? This oil, pressurized oil, is coming to the P port of direction control valve. Then from P to A port of direction control valve, and this A port is connected to this T. Okay. Now this T has divided into two hoses. This one hose is connected to the sequence, and another hose is connected to this rod end. Okay. Now this another port is connected to the sequence input and sequence output. So how it will work? When the oil will come from P to A, here the cylinder A will retract first. When the pressure will build in the system, the sequence valve will evaporate, and the output of the sequence valve is connected to the rod end of the cylinder B. Then cylinder B will retract, and when you change the position, see, now it has retracted. So during this, your sequence 1 valve has operated. You have retracted. Now at A, if you see now I'll explain this how the sequence 1, 2 will work. When your pressure port is connected to B port, your P and B, your oil will come to this T. From this T, you have connected the cap and port of that cylinder A. So first it will extend, and after when the pressure will build, I have connected this sequence valve to this cap end of B port, B cylinder. Okay, so first that will extend and then this will extend. So this will, we can do this way, we can do the sequencing of the cylinder. So I hope that you have understood. Thank you very much.